TDS has been around for a very long time.
Donald J. Trump is now president of the United States. President Obama is the ex-president. Mr. Trump, for the moment, steps away.
But now there's a new strain of TDS going around, and there's no cure for it. We even asked Dr. Siegel. It's called ballroom derangement syndrome.
I think it's going down now as an official condition by the doctors. I think they get paid extra money if they handle it because it's more difficult to handle than a normal mental disease.
Just like during COVID, CNN has a live tracker. Jim Acosta is camping outside of the White House in tears.
Well, I'm back here at the scene of the crime. This is where Donald Trump is tearing down part of the east wing of the White House so he can build a massive, gaudy, gilded ballroom to the tune of $250 million. And I wanted to come down here today and just hear what people had to say about it. And in the words of one D.C. resident, unbelievable.
You know who used to love the sweet sounds of jackhammers? CNN and Barack Hussein Obama.
Sounds like they're building another wing to the White House, but we appreciate you keeping your focus.
You can't even imagine, TJ. It's going to happen for the next 2 years. All of the banging, the jackhammering, the dust, the confusion, the noise of all places to do construction is happening right here, the front lawn of the White House.
It's a 4-year renovation project. Estimated cost, $376 million.
Barry tore up the White House and spent $400 million in taxpayer money during a recession. And what did he have to show for it? New pipes and a basketball court. That's it. Translation, the contractors took Obama to the cleaners. Trump spending less, $300 million on a big, beautiful ballroom, and you're not paying for it. No one's allowed to play ball on Barry's court, but you are allowed to dance the night away during Trump's third inauguration. Kidding. But Hips isn't. He's ready to impeach.
Running the largest pay-to-play scheme in the history of the country and probably soliciting donations from people who've got business before the United States government. And all of this is going to have to be investigated. It will. All of this will have to be uncovered. It will. And these people are going to be held accountable no matter how long it takes.
They're going to impeach the president for the third time because he built a ballroom? Suddenly, Democrats are worried about historic monuments.
Trump said, I'm going to do it. I want my ballroom. If Trump next week began demolition on the Washington Monument to make it more of a Mar-a-Lago looking thing, would Republicans stand up and say anything?
The people who rip down famous statues now care about preserving American history. Since when do Democrats care so much about the White House structure? They told us the White House was built on racism.
According to the White House Historical Association, enslaved human beings were likely involved in all aspects of the construction, including the carpentry, masonry, carting, rafting, plastering, glazing, and painting.
BLM was trying to burn the White House down, and Democrats were mad Trump put around a fence. The left doesn't want America to be beautiful. They don't think we deserve it. The whole purpose of the East Wing was just a ruse to cover up an underground bunker. The First Lady's secretaries have a few offices there. That's it. The bunker will still be there. Now they all have better offices. The normies understand.
Nixon had his bowling alley. JFK had his swimming pool. So, you know, he's had his touch. And it's going to be beautiful when it's done. Yeah. Absolutely beautiful.
Democrats are just mad Trump's building a big, beautiful thing during the Schumer shutdown, when the whole point of the shutdown is suffering. Not my words, theirs.
I mean, shutdowns are terrible. And of course, there will be, you know, families that are going to suffer. We take that responsibility very seriously. But it is one of the few leveraged times we have.
They just said the quiet part out loud. They're making Americans suffer to bail out Obamacare for illegals. And they want to fire the only Democrat who wants to go back to work.
I'm always going to vote country over my party. And if I pay a price within my base, you know, that's something I'm willing to do. I'm not afraid to tell my truth. and if I'm going to pay a penalty, I'm not afraid of that. It's wrong to shut our government down.
Democrats won't defend you, but they will defend the guy who wants to kill children. And now they're defending a guy with a Nazi tattoo. This guy's running for Senate in Maine, named Graham Plattner, got a skull and bones Nazi symbol tattooed on his chest when he was a Marine. The so-called nipple Nazi said he got drunk in Croatia and just woke up with it. Had it on his chest for 20 years. And he says when someone told him it symbolized the SS, he covered it up with a wolf.
Okay. You can't quite tell, but yeah. Well, actually, maybe. Yeah. It still has its like healing thing on it.
I hate anti-Semitism. I hate Nazism and Nazis. They're going to call me a communist no matter what. They called Hillary Clinton a communist. They call anyone who ever advocates for any sort of beneficial programs for working people a communist or a socialist.
And they said Hegseth was a Nazi because he had a tattoo of a cross. This guy has an actual Nazi tattoo, and they say he's just going through a phase.
I'm not overly impressed by a squad of media running around saying, what do you think about the tattoo on Graham Plattner's chest? He went into a dark period in his life. I suspect that Graham Plattner is not the only American to have gone through a dark period.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Democrats can go through a dark period and get Hitler tats, and they'll forgive you. You can run for Senate. But if an 18-year-old posts a Michelle Obama meme, he's canceled for life? Come on. Democrats called everyone they hated a Nazi. Trump, Miller, Vance, Pete, Ice, everybody. And now one of their guys has been running around tatted up like the Third Reich. And they're like, he covered it up. You know what else this so-called nipple Nazi said? Who's an oyster farmer, by the way? Guy said blacks don't tip. Said cops are bastards. And rural America is racist and stupid. Democrats defended him. They still are. They're against the ballroom, but the so-called nipple Nazi's great. It's almost like the whole Nazi thing was a hoax just to take us out. And they always go right for the neck.
I'm from the hood, okay? So when a bully comes, like, if there are no rules, you literally have to figure it out. So if you hit me in my face, I'm not going to punch you back in your face. I'm going to go across your neck. You've got to hit hard enough where they won't come back.
Miss Yolanda, where are your manners? That's not how you talk to people. I'm beginning to think they really do want us dead. This whole young generation on the left, I'm not so comfortable with. But they're climbing the ladder. Guess who's running for Senate in Texas? Jasmine Crockett. Jazzy, not to be confused with Davy, wants to be a member of the world's greatest deliberative body. Republicans are licking their chops.
This would be a dream scenario for Republicans. The possibility will make Democrats nationally nervous. I do not think that is the right nominee. And what's worse for National Democrats, I think it's very hard to stop Jasmine Crockett to winning the Democratic nomination if she does run for the Senate.
They rigged the primaries against Bernie, but old Burn Dog's getting the last laugh. His new crop of commies are starting to take over. It looks like Kami Mandami is going to be the next mayor of New York City.
Let me tell you, shouldn't have done it. I knew when I saw you think I thought I was going to kill it? I knew there was a problem. But next year, 136. Okay.
The commie's kind of funny, but government-run grocery stores, no joke. And he's just a test run for AOC.
Do you think she would be a formidable presidential candidate as someone that's done it twice?
Yeah, I think she would, and I think other people would as well. So that's her decision to make, and got a lot of other great people out there.
2028 is going to be like the Bolshevik Revolution. The communists might overthrow the Democrat royal family. That's why the cross-legged Messiah has already anointed his cross-legged disciple for the run. It Girl Newsom, flavor of the year. He's going to have to fend off a full court press of freaks. But not before the big guy burns it all down. Remember, nobody F's with a Biden. And Hunter's on a solo mission to fight for his father's legacy and settle some scores. Clooney, Kamala, Barack, Tapper too. Hunter might run in 2028. Is Fox going to host a debate between AOC, Newsom, Hunter, and Kamala? I don't think I can let Brett moderate. I'm going to have to take it. The party's not even on speaking terms. Last night at Cafe Milano in Georgetown, Obama was there, and so was Joe Biden. But they didn't sit next to each other. They didn't even talk. Biden had a seat out front at a table where he wanted to be seen. Barack was in a private room in the back with a bunch of advisors. Sources say Barry wants to invest in pro sports franchises. We hope it's not the Trailblazers. More on that later. Imagine your vice president is in the same restaurant and you don't even go say hi. And he just had cancer treatment. Barack doesn't even send a drink over to the table. Politics is a brutal business. Trump's just sitting back and watching the show.
They've even now started imitating me, of all people. They want to imitate me. And they start using foul language, but they use too much of it. You know, you can't use the F word 7 times in one sentence. It doesn't work. It might work once every 7 news conferences, but you can't do it. You can't do it 7 times in one sentence.
It's Trump's world. Just ask Time magazine. Although Gavin Newsom says Trump and MAGA are at risk of not getting into heaven. They'll have a lot to reconcile at the pearly gates. Gavin should worry about his own soul. He turned heaven into hell. Have you seen California? The it girl better be careful, because in 2028, Trump might take over the Golden State.
What Donald Trump should do is, when he leaves the office, run for governor of California. And just take over California and fix it. It would be hilarious if he did. It would be one of the funniest things of all time if an 82-year-old man steps into the office of governor of California. We're going to fix everything. You've got a problem with water. I know how to get the water. It would be